Hello everyone, it's Megan. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. It's almost Valentine's Day. I think Valentine's Day is in like a week or something. And though Valentine's Day isn't necessarily a neo-pagan holiday or a holiday that we celebrate for any reason other than capitalism, we can still take advantage of all of the love energy that's in the air around Valentine's Day. I'm not going to cover the history of Valentine's Day in this video. I've actually already done that video and I will link it up here for you if you want to watch it. You don't have to. But today I want to give you sort of some ideas on how you can spice up your Valentine's Day with a little bit of magic. So I have 5 ideas for things that you can do magically for Valentine's Day. The ethics of love magic are touchy. I used to have a video on the channel that was dedicated to the ethics of love magic, but something happened after it had been on YouTube for a while and the audio got corrupted, so I ended up taking the video down. But the podcast episode of that particular video is still up, and I will leave that link in the description box below. I'll also leave a link in the description box below and up here somewhere of a video that is more recent where I talked about the ethics of magic in general and not just love magic, but I feel like, if I'm remembering right, I did touch on love magic in general in that video, but I think the same thing applies. I will not give you spells, potions, oils, anything like that that will violate another person's consent. Sorry. So if you're here for that, you're gonna have to go elsewhere because that goes against my ethics. I will not violate someone else's consent in that way. However, I do have 5 ethical ideas that you can do for Valentine's Day, whether you are single or you have a partner or you have multiple partners. The first thing that you can do to add a bit of magic to your Valentine's Day is make an altar for love. And this can be an altar for self-love, like I have done before, where you take time for yourself and really cultivate a loving relationship with yourself. This is a good idea if you don't have a partner. If you do have a partner, create an altar for your relationship where both of you can go and spend some time there for what is sacred to help keep the love alive and maybe add a little bit of a spark to it. Light the candles if you are, I don't know, in the mood or something. I'm a really big fan of having altars for different things. I have my self-love altar, I have my deity altar, parts of my kitchen could be considered an altar where I do a lot of my cooking. The shelves where I keep all of my crochet supplies is considered an altar for me where I can go and keep my supplies sacred when they need to be sacred. So you can do the same thing with relationships. And if you don't want to create a self-love altar or an altar for your current relationship, you can just create an altar to attract more love into your life, whether that be romantic love, platonic love, whatever kind of love you feel that you need. In that same line of thinking, you can also do love spells. Now, I know I said that I will not provide love spells for you to attract a specific person or to violate anyone's consent, but that doesn't mean love spells are completely off the table. You can always do love spells to attract a specific type of person into your life. So if you're looking for someone who is financially stable or who is emotionally available, or maybe you're just looking for someone to spend time with that you have things in common with, you can do love spells to attract those types of people into your life and let the relationship develop naturally. Now, casting these spells doesn't mean that you will just be able to sit at home and do nothing. You have to put yourself out there because how else are you going to meet the people that you're trying to attract? But you can do this with candle magic, you can create spell oils, you can create sigils, especially if you're doing a lot of your communication online. Create a sigil, leave it by your computer or put it on your phone or whatever to help draw people to you. I am going to do a little spell tutorial in my next video for love and drawing love to you, so stay tuned and make sure you're subscribed if you're interested in that. But on to the next tip. This tip applies regardless of your relationship status, although it may not apply if you are asexual or fall somewhere on the ace spectrum, or you just have no interest in being sexually intimate with other people or even yourself. And that is to participate in some sex magic. And this can be done by yourself or with a partner or with multiple partners. If you're going to do it by yourself, obviously that's going to involve getting intimate with yourself. But before you do so, anoint a red candle or a pink candle, depending on what it is that you're trying to get out of being intimate with yourself. And the way I view sex magic is it is a build-up to the climax, of course. So any of the build-up to the climax is you raising that energy within yourself, and then at the point of climax, you release that energy into the world to go do what it is that you need it to do. Now, sex magic by yourself is very, very simple, and it's not really something that has many ethical considerations as long as you're not like directing your energy at a specific person. But when you get into sex magic with a partner or multiple partners, you should get their consent before engaging in sexual magic with them. And this is because when you are in an intimate situation like that, you're not just using your own energy, you are feeding off the energy of them as well and raising their energy. And so if your partner is willing, that is a very powerful thing that you can do together in that specific moment. You raise energy together and feed back and forth off of one another. Build that energy, and then at the point of climax, if you can both climax together, then you both release the energy into the universe to do whatever it is that you need it to do. But I view it as very unethical to practice sex magic with partners who are unaware of what you're doing, so keep that in mind too. Tip number 4 is to use some glamour magic. And glamour magic is usually associated with feminine presenting people or people who wear makeup and nail polish and do all of the fancy pretty things. But glamour magic can be used by anyone. Yes, one of the most common things that are mentioned when people talk about glamour magic is makeup. It's very easy to adjust your makeup and charm your makeup to do something specific. And even if you don't necessarily charm your makeup, just choosing specific colors or shades of colors or application techniques with intention behind it can have a very powerful effect. So if you're gonna go on a date, set your intentions as you're doing your makeup, or choose colors very specifically to take advantage of that particular type of glamour magic. Something else that you can do if you don't wear makeup but you wear jewelry is to charm your jewelry. Have a piece of jewelry that you wear when you want to feel powerful, or a piece of jewelry that you wear when you want to feel sexy or beautiful. And that can go for anyone that wears jewelry. And you can do the same thing with glasses, clothing, even a skincare routine. And some people might say like, well, a skincare routine isn't for everybody. Excuse me, I think everybody should be wearing an SPF at least. So if you're not wearing an SPF, wear a sunscreen. It's good for your skin. Also, you can use the SPF as a glamour magic to form a barrier or draw sigils in your skin before you rub your sunscreen in. If you don't want to do any of those things with glamour magic, you can at least choose your clothes with intention. Choose red when you want to feel powerful or sexy, and blue when you want to feel calm. You can even choose a seductive color. Like I would associate a deep burgundy with seduction if you're trying to be more alluring, like if you're going out to the bar or going out to dinner with your significant other. And tip number 5 is to utilize food. Now, all of my kitchen witches out there are going to possibly have so much fun with this. You can make cookies, cake, even a very simple Valentine's Day meal for yourself, or you and your partner can have a massive effect and magical significance behind whatever it is that you make. The simplest thing that you can do is to eat chocolate. In my experience, chocolate has a very powerful calming effect, but also it releases endorphins and serotonin, and it makes people happy. I mean, unless of course you don't like chocolate, then don't eat chocolate. Pick something else that makes you happy. But you can take it a step further and imbue your chocolate or whatever it is that you're cooking and consuming, either yourself or with a partner, and charm it with love. Put all of your love into it, all of your compassion and the emotion that you feel for yourself or for your relationship. I don't think that crosses any ethical boundaries because you're not trying to manipulate a situation. It's more of like literally putting all of your love into what you're feeding yourself or your partner so that they can feel the love that you have for them. Or for yourself, if you're doing it for yourself. So these were some very simple ways that you can bring magic into your Valentine's Day if you so choose. Please remember to keep the consent of others in mind if you are going to be participating with more than just yourself. I think that's very important. But again, I'm just a person on the internet and I can't tell you what to do. So that's a decision you have to make for yourself. Make sure that you're subscribed if you want to see the Love Spell DIY that's coming next week. Don't forget that I have a Discord community if you want to hop in over there. It's open for everyone to join and make friends, although it's not a dating community, so don't get any ideas, even though it's Valentine's Day. I would love to have you over there. I also have a Patreon if you would like to help support the channel and the podcast and all of that fun stuff. All of those links are always in the description below. And I'm so, so grateful for all of you being here with me on this channel and watching all of my videos. And I love you all so, so much. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye.